All right, silver tubers. It seems like we just saw each other. It's Mr. Zeke at the silver pouring bench. I've got a fistful of silver. Some already in the oven or in the furnace warming up. And I've got some of the older molds that I've got. Now, I was just going to pour some of the stuff that I had before I had my large stamp. I was going to do an ultimate skull bar, because I know there's a lot of you who haven't seen these, the Z round. I don't know how well they'll pour. These molds got some pretty hefty use. I'm going to try a small tree. See about one of those. A lion's head round. And a Trump bar. I haven't poured one of those since before the election, I think. And one of the Aztec rounds. I'm not sure how this one's going to come out. This mold is pretty rough. I mean, I've had this one quite some time, but we'll give it a shot. I know part of it's burned. Well, we'll give it a shot because, you know what, why not? And then if I have the time and the desire, I'll do a lion's shield. And so that's what we've got in the lineup. I will be back as soon as this temperature down here reaches what it needs to be and stabilizes. Then I'll heat the mold up and we'll get some pouring action. So hang tight. Alright, first let us pour the ultimate skull bar. I think the silver's hot enough. I just warmed up the mold. I don't know if I warmed it up enough, but we shall soon see, depending on how the shiny metal flows. Oh yeah, that flowed nicely. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. So, throw a little more silver in the furnace, and we'll move on. So, we'll have a look at them in a bit. I'm gonna set this over here, let it cool. Man, that back came out just immaculate. So we'll set that over there and let that mold cool. And now we'll do the Z round, because that's one we haven't done in a while either. So we'll be back when the silver's liquid. Alright, now let's try the Z round. This is one I had made with my initial, just because I thought it would be neat. Haven't poured very many of these. Had this mold a long time. It's a smaller mold. Alright, nice little round. Came out nicely. We shall wait and see how that one came out. I'll set it over here by the skull mold. Next, I think we'll do the big Aztec. The big Aztec round. So, let the silver heat up. And we just throw a couple more ounces in the furnace. Add it to what's already in there. This one, I think, is a little bit larger mold. So, we shall return for Pour Fest 2017. Okie dokie. Now let's pour the Aztec round. I haven't poured one of these in forever. This is kind of fun. It's kind of like a trip down memory lane, pouring some of these older molds. Let's, oh yeah, filled up nicely. Filled up nicely, cooled off nicely. I keep saying nicely. Throw a little more silver in the furnace. And next, we'll just move that one off center stage. It's going to exit stage right instead of left. It's kind of a heavy mold, heavy piece. So, and now let's pour a lion's head. We'll pour that one next. And we'll be back when we're ready. We'll be back when we're ready. Alright, 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 alright. Let's see if we can't get this lion's head to pour. It's a little tricky, it's a little shallow. So we're gonna need to be very careful once we start the pour. Yeah, there we go. All right. The next mold's kind of small. It's the mini tree of life. So we're not going to add any silver to the crucible because I don't want to over pour it. I'm just going to heat it up, and I might as well heat it up with everybody watching. Golly, this is fun. I'm going to pour all these old molds. Fire up the torch. Sorry, it's a little loud. I don't get them quite as hot as I used to. Just get a little bit of just get them up so they'll accept the silver into the smaller portions of the mold. These trees have a lot of detail, so they're a little harder to get just the right temperature to get the silver to flow in there. But I have faith. Sometimes it's unfounded faith, but I have faith. So let's put a little heat to this. Meanwhile, the furnace is coming back up to temperature. Every time you open the top, it drops, and then it has to build its way back up, but it doesn't take but just a few seconds or a minute to come back up to temperature. It's at 2034 right now, so we're going for today's pours are at 2040 degrees Fahrenheit. So just want to warm this up. I don't have one of the fancy digital thermometers, so it's just kind of do it by feel. So this is so nice. I got the pouring bench all to myself, except for Emily. She's walking around. The torch kind of makes her nervous a little bit. She gets a little spooked, so she runs outside when I fire up the torch. But as soon as the torch shuts off, she comes back in and wants to wrestle. Oh, while I'm pouring. So sometimes I have to use my stern voice on her. But she's a good girl. That ought to be good. Let's give that a shot. This one is notoriously over poured just because how small the diameter is. It usually comes out close to an ounce. Sometimes a hair over, but I gotta really manage the crucible. There we go. Didn't get over pour. Pretty thrilled about that. So, but now the next mold we're really gonna have to charge up the crucible and get it topped off proper, like, because I think the next one we're gonna do is the lion's head, and it takes a fair spot of silver. The lion's head and the shield is the one I'm referring to, and I'm leaving all these pours in the molds. So lion's head and the shield, we will pour this one next. This one's a wee bit tricky. I've poured a few of these, and the tip right down here at the end likes to give me a little bit of grief. So, but we're gonna try it because I haven't poured it in a while. So hang tight. All right, let's see if this wants to cooperate today, or if it's gonna give me grief. Hey, because this one is the one that probably would give me grief if I don't respect it. Well, looks like it cooperated. I'll be darned. So I'm gonna throw a couple more ounces of silver in the old heater here, and I was gonna do one more. I was gonna do the trump bar, but I decided not to. I'm going to do one more. I've got a sand cast here that I'm going to pour. I'm just kind of curious how it'll come out. And so as soon as that silver is liquid, which shouldn't take but just a few seconds, we'll go ahead and pour this sand cast, and then we'll unbox, so to speak, each one of these pours all at one time, because they're all still sitting in the molds. They're all still in the molds that I poured them in, so I haven't taken them out because I thought we could unbox them together. So let's check the progress. It doesn't take but just a few seconds for this to liquefy, and I have no idea how much this is going to hold, but I found this at the LCS today. I'm kind of curious how it pours out, so we might get a wee bit of flamage. See how the silver's doing. Yeah, silver's already liquid. So, but this has been an unbearably long video, but I warned everybody ahead of time that this was going to be, that there was nobody home, so I was going to play with silver. Alright, so let's blow on it just a little bit. Oh, hell's bells, who cares? We'll just let it solidify on its own. Give it a little tap, tap, tapper, maybe get some cooling lines in it. Tap it down to one end, then you tap it down the other. I have no idea what I'm doing. And there we go. And then we're going to dump it in the water.